Good morning, beauties. I am Dominique Chantel. I'm the owner of Annick Beauty. And today I am doing some business errands. Right now, I'm going to go take my bestie to go get one of his shots. I don't know if you guys can see him, but you'll see him in a little bit. He's sleeping right now. Um, so I'm going to go do that this morning. And then after that, I have some errands to run. I need to go return this cart that I bought um, from, I think, Lowe's. I bought the cart. So the cart was, instead of it being, because I have a wagon already. And I use my wagon for like the table, for, my stand, all kind of like miscellaneous things. But my bags, sometimes they can be, extremely heavy, and then trying to pull them, it takes a lot of work. So I wanted to get like something like kind of like a dolly, but one of those foldable dollies that you can kind of fold it up, and it like goes from this to like this, like a tiny thing. And even with the ones like, I guess it's the foot of the end of the dolly that rises up. So I wanted to get one of those, and I got one from Lowe's. But the only thing is that the one that I got from Lowe's, it can only fit one bag, and that pretty much defeats the purpose of what I need it for. I needed to at least hold two bags. Um, so so that didn't work. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna return this one. So I'm gonna return that one, but then but I also ordered online from Amazon. There was one that I measured, but which I should have done this before I bought the bag from Lowe's, but I measured both of the bags next to each other to see how long I need the dolly to be. And then I found one that's like the perfect length on Amazon, and then you're able to fold it up. It can be a stand-up dolly, or it can be a long dolly, and you pull it, or you can push it, however. And it comes with a bungee cord. It has four wheels instead of, most dollies only have two. So it has four wheels. So I'm gonna get that one, I believe, tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm gonna return this one that I got. And then outside of that, I also need to go to Michael's, because I need to get some more, vinyl, and I need to find some beads and some other little miscellaneous things that I need to get. And then after that, I'm going to the Happy Place. And then once I get to the Happy Place, I have a lot of, admin work that I need to work on. I kind of neglected a lot of it last week, so it kind of piled up on me this week. I have emails that I need to respond to. I just got a lot going on. My marketing emails that I need to do for August and September. I kind of like to do at least 2 months when I'm doing, because I normally do spend out like 2 marketing emails a month, which I want to do more. I want to do more of that because my subscription list has grown a lot, and I want to send out more marketing emails. If I have sales, if I have discounts coming up, or if I have any like new products or anything like that, I want to promote that in my marketing emails, as well as the SMS text messages. So yeah, I need to get more into posting more of my marketing, but it's a lot. It's a lot of tedious. I have also content work that I need to work on outside of that. So it's a lot. So a lot of little admin work, but we'll get through it as always. So I will see you guys in a little bit, and let's start this day. Okay. Come on. Beauty. So I am back in my happy place. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I had to get a shipment of bags. So I normally use like this size bags. However, seeing how I have robes and I have shoes and other things that are a little bit bigger than my normal size small bags, I'm kind of got a bulk of bigger bags like this size, and I have extra large bags. So I'm gonna need to stamp those because I need them for my next market that I'm doing on Saturday. Today is, if I haven't already told you, what is today? Today's Tuesday. So I want to do these bags really quick before before Saturday, or actually before Friday. I always say my cutoff day is Friday, that I should have everything, or Thursday at least, everything already set out and done. So one thing I noticed that since I got back on YouTube and I started vlogging and doing all my things on YouTube again, I know that there are some people who watch my videos and they may not know who I am. And yes, I'm speaking as if I have a 15 million followers, but that's fine because I am speaking it in existence. That's what I always choose to do. Speak as if I'm already there where I want to be. So it's something I always learn. You know, portray yourself as if you're in that situation, you're in that placement that you always dream to be in. And that's how I move. I'm trying to find my stamp really quick. Let's see. Where's my stamp? Oh, there it is. So back to what I was saying. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of, info on me. I will say first off that I am a very private person. I keep my personal life and my personal business personal. I am a Pisces, so that should tell you a lot. Sorry, I know my hair's blowing in the wind like I'm over here like Beyonce or something because it's hot in here today. So I just turned my fan on, but I'm feeling a lot better now. But anyway, so back to the point. So like I said, I'm very private when it comes to my personal life, but I don't think that you have to be fully 100% in your personal business to run a small business. So I will say that, so that way that can kind of set the tone moving forward with any of my other videos. So basically, to start it off, how I started my business and where I started my business from is in 2023. I think it was, yeah, 2023. I had just ended a relationship with my ex for 15 years. The relationship needed to be ended long before then when it ended, if y'all ladies know what I mean. But however, that's when it ended. And I was kind of lost. I was kind of like, okay, what am I going to do? Not lost as like, oh my God, I'm single. Now what am I going to do? Lost is like, okay, I was in the middle of planning a wedding and now I'm single, so, and it's just like life at that point. And I was working a company that I was working for many years. And it wasn't satisfying anymore. I felt like I was used to just going with the flow. Like I was being robotic. Like everything was just, today's Monday and it's just robotic and it's just here and I'm just there and I'm just doing this, I'm doing that. There was no fulfillment every day. I was with this man and there was just no fulfillment anywhere in my life. And in between that, all of that, I always had an issue with buying soaps, lotions, anything dealing with like body stuff because I would break out. I had the most sensitive skin you could ever think of. And I always had that issue. But I thought it was like, okay, I just can't wear certain things. And then I started reading into it. I thought I had eczema. I didn't have eczema. I found out that I went to a dermatologist. They just told me that I had, sensitive skin, and I have to watch what I put on my body. I can't put perfumey stuff on my body. Most things that most girls use, I can't use. All the trendy little scents and, even the simplest things like EOS. I can't put that in there because there's so many different other things in those products that we don't even know. So a lot of things that we don't even know that we can't even pronounce and could be harmful to our skin. So that's how, personally, how I had the mindset of having, a natural beauty company. But then I originally started with my lashes because I'm obsessed with lashes. I'm obsessed with anything dealing with lashes. I always just love lashes. And my mom, when was in my whole figuring out my life type thing, I was annoyed about lashes. I couldn't find lashes that looked not natural, but just lashes that didn't look like, the whole exaggeration type. I like simple, but still had a little bit of, you know, pizzazz to them type lashes, and I can never find them. You can find some of them on Amazon or Temu or something like that, but that's about it. So one day my mom was like, "Well, make your own lashes." Like my mom said it like if I was like if I had a lash shop in my room or something. It was funny. But I took it as her saying like, "Well, do it yourself. Start something yourself." And then that's what I did. I end up finding a vendor who allows you to design your own lashes. And I worked with her for about a year and I designed my own lashes. And that was unheard of. That was like, a lot of people were like, "What? You designed lashes?" I'm like, "Yeah, I designed these lashes that I sell." So I started with lashes. So I started my business and it was Annick Lash and Beauty. And by me starting it, I was like, okay, I love this. I love my lashes. I love the whole thing with the lashes. That's just, my thing. That's what I want to do. I want to sell lashes. But then I was just like, okay, but I also want to do beauty stuff, but I didn't want the name to limit me on what I wanted to do because I wanted both. So then I spoke with someone, actually with someone dealing with like IRS and things like that. I don't know how I got into that whole rabbit hole, but I did speak to somebody and they were just telling me that you can have one LLC with two names. And it's like a one name for this and one name for that. It's like a sister business, but it's still under the same umbrella. So the LLC that I had, it was Annick Lash and Beauty, but I wanted my LLC and my main business name to be Annick Beauty. And that's what I did. So I changed my name to Annick Beauty. So that way everything could just be under one umbrella. And I wasn't just, how do you say it? Restricted to just one thing. Because me personally, if I was someone shopping and then I just saw the name Annick Lash and Beauty, I would just think, okay, all they sell is lashes. So I didn't want that restriction. So that's when I changed my name. But however, I still have Annick Lash and Beauty along with Annick Beauty. So I guess that's to give you guys a little bit of insight. I do not have any children. I have a dog. His name is King. I'm sure you guys already seen him at this point. He's the love of my life. I love him so much. I am 39 years old. I know I don't look it. Thank you, Mom. And I'm just living life. I'm just enjoying life. I am happy to be where I'm at because if you would have told me 5 years ago that I would be with my own business, thriving, and not only with my own business, but like I said, the company that I was working for that company for at least 14 years. And that was my life goal. That was like my life. That was like, I was gonna retire out with that company. I've known people that worked there that worked at that company for 30 years, you know. So that was like my life plan at that point, 5 years ago. And then as of March, I retired from the company and I went full time with my business. And like I said, 5 years ago, if you told me that that's what I would be doing, I'd be like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna pay bills like that. What are you talking about? And it's a big life change. It's big life changing, and I I don't think I say this enough to myself that I'm proud of myself. I'm very much proud of myself because a lot of times we would have got stuck. We would have been stuck in life and felt like, why me? Why didn't this go this way? I was just planning a wedding and now I'm single and, and now I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But I think that this was was my path. This is where I was meant to be. I get joy every day working, dealing with my business. I think about it 24/7. It's, it doesn't consume all of my life. I do still have a personal life, but it makes me happy. When I worked at that company, it wasn't a bad company, but it was just robotic. You're doing the same, you get up at 6 a.m. You go in traffic for an hour and a half. Then you go sit in a building, and then it was just, it was too much. And I know I'm blessed to be able to do what I'm doing and to have my business. And I know a lot of women that would, you know, love to do the same. However, their circumstances may be a little bit different than mine. And I'm very grateful that I'm able to do this every day and for this to be my job. And I think my mom, of course, being, my number one cheerleader when I wanted to go full time and I wanted to do this, and I wanted to leap out on faith with my business. And my mom, being a praying mom, she had my back. She was there for me. So I thank my family for that. And I'm won't lie, I ain't gonna say that I am not afraid, because I am afraid. It's different from what I've been doing since I've been working at a company or a business since I was 17 years old. And it's a long time. I think probably before 17, I worked at Publix, I think when I was like 15 or 16, but I don't count that as a job. But I mean, so I'm used to the work life, I guess you can say. And it's new. It's new. And it's me walking out on faith, and it's me just doing what I dreamed of doing. And I hope that inspires anyone who's watching this video to do the same if they're able to, because I have this saying where I tell everybody, like, we only can do this once, there's no coming back. So if you're able to do and live your life and live your dream, then I say do it. Don't waste your life on, people who are not there for you, people who, you can do better, you can do something different. A lot of times your family will be the worst haters. They will be the worst people that will not support your dream. But if you have 100% feeling in your dream and you know that you can do it, do it. Do it. You can't lose. You can't lose any. You don't lose by not even by trying. You'll lose if you don't try. So like I said, I'm fearful. I'm scared. But however, I'm not to the point where I will give up. I don't think I'll ever get to that point where I'll give up, because this is my dream. And I feel like God gave me the opportunity. I'm going to take that ball and I'm going to run with it. That's all I can do. So yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to say on that note. But like I said, I try to let you guys in as much as possible, with me still keeping a little bit of my privacy. I hope you guys understand that. I'm sure you will. But like I said, I'm working on these bags, and then once I'm done with filling these bags up and stamping them, I will be working on some admin work that I have to do July. Because like I said, I've been neglecting all of that kind of stuff. I don't know why. I don't know why. I just, and then it piles up. And then I get to this point, like where I'm at today, and I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do it. But it's fine. It's all a part of it. So I'm going to work on that now. And then I will talk to you guys in a little bit.